So let's talk about COVID. I don't know if you know this, but here's the COVID deaths, right? And it's appropriate that this color coded map. Do you see this color coded map? So this is where all the deaths, most of the deaths are happening and stuff, right? Reported cases 9,541,000 deaths, 226,000. That's as of November 5th at 6 p.m. 226,000 deaths, 9,541,000 reported cases, roughly. And here's where all the deaths, look at all the deaths, 17,000 in California, 25 in New York, 10,000 in Illinois, 18,000. So those are just the deaths. But, you know, we all know when you get sick. And by the way, this map is color-coded in a way that makes the U.S. look like an unhealthy turd, which is appropriate. That's appropriate because we are a failed country. We're a failed state.
And you know, Jimmy, how does Cuomo have the nerve to publish a book? Look, it's 25,000 people, and his book is called American Crisis, Leadership Lessons from COVID-19 Pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, how to lead the country in deaths from it, because you did it. Wow. Cases of COVID-19 in children on the rise with the highest 1-week spike yet. Oh, great. Let's open the schools. I just talked to my friend John Caparelli, and he's telling me kids have it. It's not good. England locks back down. Italy puts regions on red alert as COVID-19 deaths spike 43% in Europe. So they're locking down again. This is happening. So the wave is coming. The second wave is here, and now even England with their version of Trump running their country, he also got it because he went around shaking. I shake everyone's hands. I don't bother with. Oh, then you got it, and he had to go in intensive care. He did not die, but they say it ages your brain 10 years. Your heart looks like you have a heart attack. All kind of crazy stuff that you get from COVID. And here they are. So what this tells me is that at some point we're going to lock down in 2021, probably. Again. There's 10 million people without jobs since this started. 10 million people lost their jobs and haven't gotten them back. So I don't care what they tell you about the unemployment rate or whatever. That's a garbage statistic. All you need to know is 10 million people have lost their jobs permanently. 1 in 5 grocery store workers have tested positive for COVID-19. Most of them are asymptomatic. What does that mean? That means they don't have symptoms that they have it, but they can give it to you. 1 in 5 workers. Awesome. Glad we don't have any workers' rights and people have to go to work at grocery stores. They have to go, or they what? They just don't have money. And people had to go to work sick. Who could imagine that would backfire? I don't know why grocery store, well, I do know kind of why, but because it's hard, but if I was a grocery store worker and a union leader at a grocery store, I would be trying to organize a grocery store strike to get you guys $25 an hour because you could get it. You could get it like that. The essential workers at grocery stores, if you shut down the grocery store, we're effed. Especially during COVID, where you can't go to another store anyway. By the way, I'm glad Whole Foods got to save money by not having proper sanitation for their workers and making them work 10-hour shifts. I mean, as long as their bottom line is good, that's what's important. Whole Foods owned by Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. Research reveals essential workers, particularly ones serving customers, are 5 times as likely to have COVID than other employees. Wow, so at least it's not going to spread or anything. Wow. Essential workers are 5 times more likely. If I was an essential worker, I would shut down and I want $25 an hour plus hazard pay until COVID is over. That's what they should be doing. They just gave $5 trillion to the richest billionaires in the country. They can't give you hazard pay for working as an essential worker? They can. Turns out they can. You guys just have to demand it. But the union leadership in America is shit right now. We need real union leaders to come out of the grassroots right now, like Christian Smalls. The people who are running our unions right now, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them. Of 104 grocery workers examined, 20 had positive coronavirus tests. Of that group, a staggering 76% of them were asymptomatic. 104 grocery workers were examined. 20 of them had positive corona tests. So Jeff Bezos, he snapped in the action and reduced them to 8-hour shifts. That was his solution. 76% of those people were asymptomatic. So once essential workers are infected with SARS, they may become a significant transmission source for the community they serve. No kidding. The study also reveals many of those grocery store workers are feeling the strain of the pandemic. Nearly half of them, 46%, are not able to practice proper social distancing at work. And that's because we live in a capitalistic death cult. The policy recommendations that employers and government officials should take action on implementing preventive strategies and administrative arrangements, such as methods to reduce interpersonal contact, repeat and routine COVID employee testing to ensure the health and safety of essential workers, the researchers report. But come on, you guys, doing that costs money. So it's probably not going to happen. We only have money for Wall Street and bombs. So this is the federal minimum wage. It's been the same since 2000. Since the last time we had this economic crash, it stayed exactly the same. And here they are doing all this work, and it's still the same. The essential workers. And here it is. The wealth of the 400 richest Americans, 2009, $1.27 trillion. Is that what that is? And now it's $3 trillion. I bet it's. Is that how you read $3 trillion? It's got to be more than that because frickin' Bezos is worth. Anyway. Land of the free, baby. The federal minimum wage should be $24 an hour if adjusted for increased worker productivity since 1968. Guess who's actually getting rich? So what that's saying is not that if we adjusted it for inflation, but if we gave workers their fair share of the profits they generated, the same share that they got back in 1968, well, they would be getting $24 an hour now. Do you understand that, metrics? So used to be that worker productivity was tied to workers' wages. The more you produced, the more profits, the more money the worker got. That stopped right around 1970-something. That stopped. Productivity got decoupled from wage increases for workers. So now as productivity goes up, guess who makes all the money? The owners and the investors, not the workers. But if we did pay them, that's how much the minimum wage should be right now. Now you get it? If we paid them commensurate with the profits that they generate. So there you go. There's your COVID report. I've been given the clear by YouTube to report on COVID. So we're reporting on it. And there you go. 1 out of 5 grocery store workers have it. Kids spiking with kids. They're shutting down Europe again. It's happened. This isn't going away. And guess what Joe Biden's plan is to fix this? Nothing. Joe Biden doesn't have a plan to give you a UBI. He doesn't have a plan to make sure you get your paychecks the next time they close down. He doesn't have a plan to get the 10 million people who lost their jobs a job back. He has no plans. Nothing. He's going to wear a mask. That's Joe Biden's plan. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.